Welcome back to AM Ocala Live. Tom, Joe, Robin in studio, and now,
oh boy,
we have stars.
We have stars and a director.
And a director.
A director of stars.
A director of stars. So, which pretty much means you and I.
Oh,
no shot.
No luck.
No shot.
We're not part of the family. Not even the Addams
Not
family.
even the Addams family.
Oh, what a segue.
You could do Lurch if you. I think you could.
I didn't make the cut.
He could do Lurch.
I didn't make I auditioned. I didn't make the cut. Sorry. Somebody else got it. Except, what can I say?
You could be Lurch. You rang.
Yes. Yeah, Lurch is just going to sing one song at the end. I guess I couldn't sing the song, so I got cut.
So, in studio today, we have Megan. Is it Wager?
Wager.
See, I said it right because some
what
people
part
say
she
Wagger, and you'd be like, no, that's not right.
I would.
Yeah.
And what part's she playing, Thomas?
She's playing Thursday.
No.
Tuesday.
No.
Monday.
No.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay, Wednesday. Addams.
She's playing home day. Yeah.
We have Logan Main. He's playing Pugsley. It's I like Pugsley. Yeah. Let's turn his microphone so we can actually hear him.
Yes, we actually hear him.
Yeah, we actually hear him then. Yeah. So he's playing. We'll get this right in a minute, Logan.
Pugsley's the mean little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
look, Pugsley is not mean. Let's clear that up.
He's inventive.
Thank you.
And mischievous.
He's inventive. I like that. Yeah.
Is that the one with the plug? Oh, it worked.
No, that's Uncle Fester.
No, that's a whole.
I thought he did the plug that went on it. No.
Joe.
I used to watch.
Did you ever watch the show?
Every episode. Every episode. And this young lady, look at what she's got to do.
And we have Katrina Plouffe. Did I say that right?
You did.
Oh my goodness.
Look at there.
You're doing good.
It's almost like I've done this once or twice.
Well, it's past 8:30, so you're awake now.
I am awake now.
You should have heard us this morning, tripping over our tongues.
They're all here to talk about the Addams Family, a new musical at the Ocala Civic Theater. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start with you two. How and why did you get into acting?
Well, it's just been one of those things that I've always known I've wanted to do ever since I was young. I did my first show when I was in middle school, and I just fell in love with it. Just continued right after that.
Well, I'd like to say I was pretty imaginative, and I just liked pretending to do stuff as a kid. And I'd play with my brothers and pretend to be different characters. And I think that just carried on. So I like.
He's made for his part. Did you catch that?
Did you see what he just said?
Yeah, very
he goes, did you see what he said? I always wanted to do it when I was a kid.
Yeah, right. Yeah. How old is he? How old are you now?
27.
Very, very young looking. Yeah.
He ages well.
Never mind. I'll drink my Starbucks coffee from the mall. Thank you.
I love the productions that are put on by the Ocala Civic Theater because it's community-based theater. It's people that are part of our community that bring a good vibe to us and everything. I don't even want to know. When I worked here, I would hit Joe up for tickets every time there was a new show.
You talk about a hint?
Woo! Look, I was very diplomatic. I'd say, Joe, give me tickets.
Yes, yeah.
Well, Logan,
so how's the set coming? Oh, go ahead. You first.
What other productions have you been in, Logan?
This is my, I would say kind of third production. I was in my school play. Mm-hmm. Then I was in some acting camp at the Civic Theater, and then I'm in this one.
Oh, that's wonderful. Is this one of your favorite roles?
Yes. Definitely.
He's definitely Pugsley.
Well, they're young and they absorb like sponges, all the lines and everything. Here's the lines. You got them? Yeah, okay. It's like, and then the director, how's the set coming?
It's terrific. Joe Harris, who's a designer out of Gainesville, has, I think, really, really created a pretty great little world. These big musicals are tricky, right?
Oh,
and
I like that.
Yeah. There's a lot that scenery has to do in a big musical. And Joe is really inventive in that it's almost like the simpler, in these big musicals, if you can find a designer that uses simple theater techniques to create a world, then you have something that you can utilize in many ways. And that's certainly what Joe has accomplished. And then lighting designer Jeff Davis is having a blast because, of course, it's
he's got to make it gloomy looking. That's right.
Gloomy but funny. So there's lots of like green and purple and it's pretty cool up there, you know. It's not a normal color palette.
Well, the Addams family was never normal, yeah.
Right. You know,
those that have watched it. These two have never seen it unless they've seen it on reruns.
Right,
Joe,
but I grew up with it.
Joe, there was a whole franchise of movies called The Addams Family.
I remember that. Oh, I like the song. I like the new song, yeah.
You know, this is 2019. There's things like Nickelodeon after. They've seen the show, Joe.
You having fun with me?
And by the way, they're two professional actors, unlike us.
Well, don't ask me, ask her.
They're actors, so they've probably done their role research and watched the show anyway.
So so I'll ask the director. How are the actors doing?
I hesitate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. They are made for these parts. Now, Andrew Lippa, the composer, right? He didn't back off just because it's, was based in something that, was created originally in 1938 by Charles Addams. There's cartoons in the New Yorker magazine, right? Andrew Lippa, young, hip Broadway composer, he didn't back off musically. This is not easy stuff to sing. It's what I think we would call a pop rock score. So it has a real nice pop feel to it. It feels very modern. It's not easy music to sing. So you not only have to find actors who can handle the comedy, and it's a pretty physical play. There's a lot of dance. But you also have to find actors who can really sing it. And that's not a given, right? This is pop music, so it's big range, big notes.
We're talking a week from yesterday. We're going to open.
Yeah, right? 6 days.
So Megan, did you find it that you had a lot of the traits that Wednesday Addams possesses, or did you have to develop those by doing research and watching and learning who Wednesday Addams was?
My mom is outside shaking her head, yes.
Yeah, we noticed her. Her mom's peeking through the window taking pictures.
I guess I have some Wednesday traits. I think what's really cool is that, Wednesday's just a normal teenage girl in the sense that, she has her family and she loves her family.
As weird as they are.
And they are weird. So you just take this eccentric girl and realize, wow, she's just like me, except she likes the dark. And that's really the only
Gotham.
difference. Right.
And I remember the Addams Family show, but to me, Wednesday Addams is Christina Ricci. That's the Wednesday Addams that I remember. It's Christina Ricci, and it's such a good part if you can get into it and you can sell it, because you're right, she's gloomy, but in a happy kind of way.
She's a child of woe,
Yeah.
But she's all grown up in this one.
She is.
And she's
teenager.
engaged to be married?
Yes, she is.
Secretly.
Right.
Secretly.
Oh, secretly.
Secretly, which
Booster
is
Michael.
Gomez wants nothing to do with that.
Tom, booster Mike a little bit. Wednesday. Boost Wednesday's Mike a little bit, please. That's it.
And Megan, you played the narrator in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yeah.
Outstanding performance. Outstanding. How different is that role from this one?
It's very different in the sense that I actually have lines in this show. Compared to Joseph, where I was just constantly singing.
You were, I just couldn't get over how you could sing night after night for all that time. With your personality and your costume changes, you were absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Now, we'll go to the director again. How intense is the makeup on all this here?
It's really exciting. So Alan Ostrander, you guys remember when we did Shrek, right?
Oh, yes. That was a good one.
I should audition for that, I think.
Too late. Dollar late, day short.
So Alan Ostrander, who's a great friend, runs a professional makeup design studio in Orlando.
Orlando.
And he Alan Ostrander is a really cool guy because he's credited with bringing Halloween to Japan.
Oh,
Wow.
my.
Yeah, and the Japanese are insane over Halloween, and he's kind of the one that started it 20 years ago. So he's a really cool guy. Alan designed the Shrek makeup for us, and there's a lot of cool makeup in Shrek, plus Shrek himself, which is just massive, right? That's 90 minutes a night getting Shrek into all of that. So when I got hired to do Addams Family, the first phone call I made was to Alan, and I said, can you come back up and be with us, train our staff again like you did on Shrek, to do the 11 ancestors, and then everybody else. Fester is a thing, and Grandma's
bald-headed.
a
That's
thing,
right. Fester's bald-headed, isn't
right?
he?
And Lurch is a thing. There's a lot. So Alan has been with us twice, and he'll be with us one more time, and he is training a team who will handle the makeup every night. So it's a lot of work.
Am I in the right series when I said that hairy thing? What was that hairy?
It.
Cousin It.
Yeah.
Cousin It. Is
Yeah.
Cousin It in this
Cousin
one?
It is not in the musical.
Okay.
But you had the right.
had the right.
It wasn't the Munsters. It was the Addams
Munsters,
family.
that's
You were
the
right.
other thing.
You were right.
Yeah, I get them mixed up too.
The Munsters had the Eddie under the stairs, the dragon under the stairs.
That's
All right. Addams.
Cousin It was in the Addams family.
And the hand that went, the walking hand. That's kind of hard.
Logan, when you are in your Pugsley character, what kind of challenges are you facing?
I just have to I always have to give a mean face. And,
A mean face?
I don't know, just like a devil child face. I'm about to do something.
Does it scare anyone else that when he just gave Robin and I the devil face, he had a big smile on his face, like, look at me?
No, Pugsley loves being bad.
Right. Yeah. Should we ask your dad? He's sitting in the studio. Is
it carrying over to the home?
Does he like being bad?
He's a good kid. He's saying he's actually good. So it's not carrying over to real
He
life.
just said, as he touched his chest, "I'm an angel."
That worries me. That worries me intensely. That worries me so bad.
And how intense is the choreography for all of the dancing in there? Did you make up some of the moves, Katrina, or?
So sure, I choreographed it. I like choreographing my own musicals, especially a musical like this, because I think, as a director, when we talk about a musical as an art form, we say when talking isn't enough, when we're in a scene with our partners and talking isn't getting the job done, talking isn't convincing who you're talking to of your point of view, then we sing. And when singing is not enough, then we dance.
So you're dancing and singing at the same time?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what a musical is,
nice.
song and dance. So how gratifying is it for you as a director and a choreographer to see young adults and young people like this that love musicals and keep this genre alive? Because it's, to me, live theater is much better than any other genre of acting that there is. And to see young adults and young children like this that are so excited about it, how does that make you feel as a director and a choreographer to know that there's good lineage coming down the line?
It's the best part of my job. It is. I mean, Ocala Civic Theater has a huge history in this community, right? 70 years next year.
Wow.
Of educating young people in the arts. It is the primary responsibility of arts organizations in a community to create the next generation of artists and audience, right? So you got to get bit by the bug, right? You got to get the virus. And in the case of both Megan and Logan, they've each had experiences at Ocala Civic Theater as younger people, right? And they are bit by the bug, right? We don't know what the future is going to bring for these two young people, except I know that in some fashion, theater will be with them for the rest of their lives. What I tell my students every day is you can leave the theater for a while. Go have a family, have a career. The theater will never leave you. Once you love it, it will never leave you. So you can go back to it at any time and it will welcome you.
You make such a valid point, because I contrary to what Joe may tell you, when I was in high school, I was a song and dance guy in the choral ensemble, and I did the school plays and everything. Then when I went to college, Georgia Southern, I did a couple plays, even though my buddies on the football team were like, "You're doing what?" And I would do plays and everything. But I stopped doing that. But it's still in me because I go now as an audience.
Right.
I still, anytime I get to go, I just went and saw Hamilton in Orlando. Anytime you get to go, I've seen Wicked in Orlando. I've been to Broadway 3 times. I don't act anymore. I don't do anything on stage anymore. But now I pluck the money down and I'm part of the audience, which is just as important, like you said, as the people on stage.
People acting to an empty theater is not theater.
No.
It's a rehearsal.
Exactly.
Oh, I like that.
It is.
Well, once you've done theater and then you sit in the audience, you look at it differently than a regular audience goer because you know the nuts and bolts, what's going on, where they're staging, what's this. And if there's a flub, you'll catch it where the rest of the audience won't, and then you'll see the saver that saved the scene, but nobody else knows that they saved the scene. I mean, I love that, and they don't stop; they just keep rolling along. Now, this is happening May 16th, which is next Thursday, all the way to June 9th at the Ocala Civic Theater. I'm bringing this in a little early. We got 10 minutes more, but I always do that. I don't like to leave it at the end so we can say it again. If you need tickets. 352-236-2274. That's 236-2274. Or check their website, www.ocalicivictheater.com. We'll say that again at the end, but I always like to stick it in beforehand. So just in case we get carried away with conversation, we don't miss it and try to rush it.
I had no idea. 70 years next year. That's an amazing accomplishment for a civic theater.
Yeah.
70 years.
It's
How
an amazing
fun.
accomplishment for this community, for Marion County, to have embraced and supported it. Because theater does not happen on stage. Theater happens in the audience.
Oh, yeah, you got to have the... Yeah,
So
yeah.
without the community supporting this institution, it would have closed its doors. So the accomplishment, yes, is in the incredible history of people who have run the place. You know, as you know, we've just recently suffered the loss of our beloved Mary Britt.
Miss Britt.
Kept the doors open for 30 more years. I believe those things need to be celebrated and acknowledged, but the thing that I hope to be able to spread in the coming 18 months as we gear up for the 70th birthday is this celebration of you guys as a community supporting this institution, because it wouldn't exist without the love and support of Marion County citizens.
Yeah, that's what we do here, don't we?
Yes.
It is what you do here, right? You're advocates for us, and that's huge.
We love and support the Ocala Civic Theater. We do not love and support each other. I can.
Well, thank you.
I feel the love. I feel the love.
You must have a lot of chemistry that's running through the cast. It had to be very difficult decisions for you to cast because everyone is so super talented when they try out.
It is, I think, you know, probably the strongest overall company that I've directed here in a while. It's really an elevated group. They're very skilled. They're very funny. And they have really embraced this sort of quirky world that was created by this man, Charles Addams. Do you know his story at all?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was cartoonist for the
1938.
New Yorker.
Yeah, New Yorker magazine starts drawing the Addams Family in 1938, draws 150 cartoons up through his death in 1988. So for 50 years, he spreads 150 cartoons over 50 years. Beloved, right? Just a beloved artist, and these characters. He called them his little evils.
Oh, gee.
I just really love that name, right? And we spent some time with these two wonderful actors, and I'm going to have them tell you a little bit about it, because we spent some time researching and studying the Charles Addams creations of their characters.
Yeah, talk a little bit about what went into when you got introduced to Charles Addams, what the influences were with his art and his comics, because that's how I got introduced to it originally. Was my grandmother would have New Yorker magazines laying around, and I loved it because it was things that my mom would go, "Oh God, what are you looking at?" And that made
you want to look at it more, didn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, how was it when y'all went to do the research and you got to see the original comics?
It was cool seeing all these comics, and I'll cite some of them. Just looking at them and realizing just how weird this family is, and all the things they find pleasurable are just so strange, and that's what makes them the Addams. So Pugsley holding up his sister in the wall.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty funny.
I like the, oh yeah.
Yeah.
As he said it, he went, "Oh yeah." I could see him with some brick and some mortar.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
How did you feel, Logan?
It was really fun. At first, I just knew he was just a mischievous kid. But after going through the comics, it really helped me develop my character and make him more Pugsley.
More
Do you speak
Pugsley.
like him?
Huh?
Do you speak like him, like Pugsley, or do you have your own interpretation of the way he should speak on stage?
I just think of him as a more, I don't know how I interpret his speaking. I just give him this.
Oh, that's great. I love that. I love
He
that.
can go into character so quick.
I'm
Kenny.
glad he's sitting at your end of the table. How many are in this cast?
21.
21 fun people.
And you brought up a good point, Joe,
What?
that the average audience doesn't know. But controlled chaos is what a musical is. You don't think about it, but because of all the stage entrances left and right and all the movement, it is literally controlled chaos. And a director is in charge of all that controlled chaos. It's a job I would never want to do.
Oh, and she's in the audience going, yep, stage right, yeah, you're right in the spot. But wait a minute, that one didn't make it over there. What happened? Then after they have their little meetings, now you have the dress rehearsal already happen or not?
No, we're in the middle of what's called the technical
Okay,
process.
tech,
So,
yeah.
you know, the first 5 weeks of a rehearsal process are so luxurious because it's the director and the actors in a room, and it's all very touchy-feely and artsy, and you know, everybody's in the bathtub just loving it. And then the real
Bathtub.
world hits.
Bathtub,
you
wait a
know.
minute.
And now you got to start hitting spots, and
Now
you got to
gotta
hit
start hitting your
marks.
and scenery's got to come on and off, and light cues have to happen, and fog machines have to work, and fast changes. And so the technical rehearsals, or what we call tech, are spread out at Ocala Civic over a 3-day process.
That's all?
3 days. We add all the other elements because while I'm working with the actors, there's a huge design team
Building.
creating
Oh, yeah.
the world, right? Scenic, lighting, sound, costumes, makeup design, special effects, props. So then we leave this cozy little world we've created in the rehearsal hall
Right.
where we get very, heady and talk about art and walk out into the cold reality of you have to make your art, but you also have to hit your mark, make sure,
Yeah.
Am I in the right group where she cuts the flowers off?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm
So yeah,
making sure that's the right
most
one.
difficult part of theater that people don't realize is when you as actors come out of the touchy-feely studio where you're just reading lines and going over your lines, and all of a sudden you have to synchronize with everything else that's been going on behind the scenes that you didn't know about. And I've seen some serious situations where people have gotten, because they didn't hit the mark they were supposed to hit, and got run over by props and stuff.
Well, that's the word I was just going to say. Props. A prop has to work.
Yeah, it has
If it
to.
doesn't work, then you have to improvise and roll with it.
And that's what tech is for, to make sure that everything goes smoothly.
Oh, look at that. That's what tech is for. You will make this work. If that flower's supposed to die, it will die on cue.
And there is a live orchestra.
Oh, yes.
For this one?
Yes, and our great
The dead one
musical
draws flies,
director,
yes.
Philip King is back.
Oh, okay.
And he's just sensational. They sound like $1 million. Pugsley, tell everybody about last night and the torture rack and getting to ride out on it. How much fun that all was.
That was fun. So, in the scene, I'm being tortured by Wednesday.
Oh, how nice.
Yes.
Oh, they love each other in the Addams
She's
family.
got a wheel and she's just pulling, and I'm just screaming, and she starts singing about how she's being pulled in a new direction, and I'm hating it. Every moment of it, I'm disgusted.
Well, Pugsley, we'd love to hear about more of it, but we are out of time. The time is flowing by. We've got about 10 more seconds. Remember, it's from the 16th through the 9th, June 9th, May 16th through the 9th at the Ocala Civic Theater. We thank you all. This is Ocala Live with WOCA. You said 30 seconds.
Yeah, but
boom.
That clock's fast. That's all I
30 seconds is 30 seconds. I'm sorry.
Now we got about 3 seconds.
Well,
Thank you.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.